Joey, night 4, week 3, Malta. Wow, we went from a 2-on-1 to a new villain. Let's get into it. Welcome to Reality TV Therapy with me, Dr. Diane. Welcome back. I'm here in my studio and it's late, so bear with me. But I've got 2 videos to get out this week, and I thought it would just be too much to combine in one, but I want to go over a little bit of housekeeping. So busy week. I've posted a video on Sunday on attachment theory. Really go watch that because I'm covering a lot of the history of attachment theory and why it's important to know what your love style is. In so many other of my videos, I talk about attachment theory. So please check that out. I'll put the link in the notes. But did you watch the Super Bowl? Let me know what you thought. I did a reel on this on Instagram. I'm not going to even post it on YouTube. And I'm getting a lot of comments. Here's my thing. So someone in the comment said, Dr. Diane, you're like the no nonsense therapist. And I thank you for that because I do try to be that person. But I'm always going to tell you what I think is working and what isn't. And what I saw, I'm not a huge football fan. My 49ers lost. I live in the Bay Area. I was at a party, but I'm watching all of this and I'm just a little bit shocked about 2 things. The ick that I thought was happening when Travis was up there doing the whole Viva Las Vegas thing. And then even more importantly, what I think looked a little bit like a red flag to me when Travis had the interaction with Coach Reed. Now, I'm getting lots of controversial comments, not just the men or the women, but all people are saying, you don't know sports and this is what people do. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Heightened emotions, a lot on the game. He wanted to get played again because this is his team. I get it. I simply was commenting from a couple's relationship, what would need to happen to repair this, okay? And a lot of people in the comments, I don't know, maybe you're not married or in a happy relationship and you want to defend your person, either Taylor or Travis. But here's what I'm defending is the couple. We can have a behavior, and Travis maybe has completely handled this with Coach Reed. They won, right? So it was easy to move through that quickly, but they won. And he's like, hey, I was just telling you, like, I love you. It's still because all the other newscasters are saying this is disrespectful. He should have been thrown out. You don't treat a coach that way. But when I say it, it's like, oh my gosh, what a horrible thing. No, I'm just merely saying that a repair would be warranted in this situation in the couple. What would that even look like? Well, oftentimes the beginning of a relationship is fragile. And those early first things, we just don't know someone well enough. So here would be my advice to Travis, if he asked or would ever watch this video, not that he would, but I'd say turn to your girl and say, hey, honey, hey, Taylor, you had to see an ugly moment. I wasn't proud of that. I lost my cool. I went back to my seat. I threw my helmet. I showed my fist. That was not great. But it wasn't great that it put you in an awkward situation where I wasn't really thinking about you. This is my home turf, right? You're at my game. But how are you and how are we? Can you imagine how healing that would be to Taylor if there was a conversation about recognizing that she's allowed to have a reaction? And people get so hell bent about not needing to apologize, and then your relationship blows up. I'm just telling you. Acknowledging how your behavior affects your partner goes a long way. So I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to tell it how I see it. I'm going to leave the comments up. People are telling me they got the ick from my post, but I'm telling you, this is how I see it, and it will play out. And we'll see if these 2 even continue for the long term. Um, I'm guessing being the girlfriend slash wife of a professional football player has a lot of positives, a lot of pros, but it probably is hard. A lot of cons too. Life on the road. I trust that they're 2 adults and they'll figure it out. But for the sake of the couple, please do me a favor, repair those things that are necessary. It will take you a long, long way. Back to The Bachelor. This is where I got the ick. I got the ick on the show. I don't know if it's late, but I just don't like this negativity, this drama. I cannot wait when we get down to where I really like the show is when we're down to the final 6, 5, 4. We get to know the women. We're really traveling, having better dates. But here we still have a lot of people. and a lot to pack in. Now, we get to Malta, which I'm like, yeah, where is Malta? It was Autumn who's like, is that in Europe? I'm like, yeah. But Jesse could have said, hey, we're going to Italy because it's right outside of Italy. And boy, was it beautiful. And did you love when Joey starts it out?
I'm hoping to bring someone to the altar, but before I do that, I have to hang out in Malta.
I mean, but like he delivers it, his timing, it's just cute when Joey does it. Like I just can't imagine any other bachelor delivering that because then he's like breaking the fourth wall by saying like producers don't do that. He's playful, but this is what I wanted from Joey and he is delivering. I love it. First date, Lexi, one-on-one. Wow, they're walking around, interacting with people in the town as they always do, and always somebody asks,
Are you married? Not yet. Just kidding.
Yeah.
a common thing. But the European churches, if you've never been, they really are emotional. I've been many times to Poland, to Rome, etc., and it really just gets me too. There's like something about the history and being in this church. You feel small, but you feel just, I don't know, somehow spiritual. It was really lovely. So I liked that interaction. And then, of course, the date had the beautiful evening date outside. What's not to love about that? But the conversation was really meaningful. I love that we're seeing some really more complex conversations. And Lexi brings up the fact that she has stage 5 endometriosis. I know some about endometriosis, not a lot, but I do know it's very painful. And then the pain, the psychological part too, of having had a previous boyfriend who rejected her because of that. And I'm like, oh, no wonder the poor thing has been nervous. But don't you just love Joey? I mean, he does not skip a beat. Not only does he have good, you know, comic, comedic timing, he's like, she says, there's something I want to talk about. And he's like, I'm right here. I'm right here. But he's like, bring it. I want to know these things. And when he said, I have to, if I want to find my person, I have to be able to have these conversations. I don't think I've ever heard another bachelor say that. So when I said 2 weeks ago that Joey is healing Bachelor Nation, this is what I mean. That Lexi, you can see it happening for her. So now she's saying, whether it works out with Joey or not, right? That if I can have a good conversation with you and practice telling you my truth and you can hear it and hold space for me, then I can do that again. That's the power of practice. And when one person can show you empathy, um, it's just beautiful how it can move. Okay. So, of course, she gets the rose at the end of the date. I just love this date. Good for Lexi. I really enjoy watching her. What about our group date? So now we've got Joey. He's talking about he's at this Fort Emmanuel. This looked like a beautiful place, but this is where uh, the Game of Roses has been filmed. And again, he's just like boom, boom, talking to the producers. And then, of course, he comes out in this half naked Roman soldier outfit. He's looking great. The women are looking great. They're all loving these costumes. I loved what Rachel said. You can't make any of us look bad because we're all like loving it. I mean, really like Rachel too. What a sweetheart. So the sausage wheel, can we talk that? I mean, what would you do if the sausages were like flying in your face? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. The smell of it sounded like a lot. And I love that the women were just kind of saying, oh yeah, I'm just grabbing them off. But then we have the diehards, right? We have Edwina and Autumn like in it, catching it with their mouth. Doing it as they should, and Autumn gets a little extra time with Joey. Good for her. So now we have the night portion. The women look great. I mean, how many dresses do they even have? I'm always shocked at like how many outfits they can pull out of their bag. But little do they know, like while the women are planning the 2-on-1, strategizing that, we've got Daisy here and Joey naming their children. Hello, like Daisy's just moving up and the other women are moving out. Um, Emily and Ocean, that's an interesting name. So isn't this fun? You can really see the progression now in these relationships. So many of the girls, Kelsey A, again, they're kissing. That's a beautiful thing. Um, how cute was it when Rachel comes out with her glasses on and then Joey puts his on? Again, he can just pull off anything. He's just like, he's so self-effacing that I just think he is cute. Who impressed me, of course, Kelsey T, where she says, this is getting real, and they're now talking about love languages and what do you like to give and receive love. Beautiful conversation, right? These are the kind of conversations you want to have on a date, because you're listening and you're asking and you're being curious. I just love that. Then, of course, Kelsey T gets the group date rose. Love that for her. So let's get to the drama, okay? The ick. So last week in the comments, and I read all your comments, I was doubling down on the theory that I thought Sydney was a plant. And I don't want you to think this is a conspiracy theory, but I have think that we've seen plants before. I think Victoria from Matt James' season was a plant too. And then she went on to Bachelor in Paradise, Queen Victoria. But I tell you why, because we've had lots of villains before. Shanae, more recently. Um, there have been a lot. But I think that Victoria was a plant because like she came in with like a theme, and no matter what, she was going to deliver that queen. She was going to be the princess, and she just like kept doubling down with the same story. And then Victoria got a lot of backlash, a lot of hate, and then like literally wiped her Instagram. I don't know if it was before or after, went on Bachelor in Paradise, and then literally like started fresh as a new person. Like her body looked incredible, new pictures, but never referenced The Bachelor. And I just kind of wonder if the same thing isn't happening here. Also, Sydney is friends with Ashley Iaconte, who's, Bachelor royalty essentially, married to Jared. And so she pretty much said, I got her on the show. So that's just got me thinking like honestly, this drama just feels like too concocted, like too made up. I don't think it's actually helping the show. This is where I think the producers are short-sighted. They think it's going to be boring somehow. So they level it up. They layer it with lots of drama and villains, and it's too much. I think the viewers want a love story. I know that's what I poll people. A little bit of drama, sure. But this just felt over the top, right? The whole story, there's just like not enough meat to the story, so you don't even get it. But why I think that Sydney was a plant is I literally, if I was a plant and it was my job and my assignment was to come in and to create drama, I would do exactly what she did, right? Medina was talking about being old, and the minute she said, oh, shouldn't have said that, boom, Sydney was on it. And then Medina was her girl, and she just doubled down on this. And she was like a dog with a bone, like wouldn't let it go. And then we saw last week in her story, she's talking about gaslighting, and she's, you know, doubling down on all this, weaponizing therapy speak. But I would almost rather think of Sydney as a plant than as a mean person because some of the lines I've just like never seen this before. Like she says,
Spending a whole day with Maria is like spending the whole day with the devil.
we've never heard this. Like this feels next level. Okay. And so, of course, the followers are going to be Team Maria from what we've seen. Again, I don't know if there isn't something else we haven't seen, but for the most part, it's easier to cheer Maria on. She's upbeat, she's fun, she's into Joey, Joey's into her, right? She changed her clothes. Let me slip into something more comfortable. But on the dates itself, I mean, they're even on the boat and she's saying nothing. And Maria comes in a sexy outfit and Sydney's got these funny slippers that I wear at home. And yeah, they're comfortable, but and then it's like, where are we going with all of this? Okay. And Sydney's just like, I got to get to Joey and tell him more about what was said because, you know, Maria had asked the question, like, what did I actually do? And now we're getting some details. And at this point, I don't know. But here's what I do know about Joey is how he pivots. Beautiful, beautiful. So Joey is on this date wanting to find the truth. We saw that last week. He's not getting anywhere closer to the truth. It doesn't matter how brilliantly he asks the question. Sydney's going to tell him one thing. Maria's going to tell him something else. If he brought them together, it would be a yelling match. So he just says,
I've done everything I can today, and I've gotten nowhere. So tonight's about choosing someone that I feel like I have the strongest connection with, and I see a possible future with.
and that's just the smart decision to make. But he doesn't get overwhelmed. Like we've seen past bachelors, bachelorettes get so overwhelmed that they're like, oh, I just can't do it anymore. And they have to walk away and compose themselves. We haven't seen that with Joey once. He is in it. He handles it. He's like, again, back to these are the tough conversations I've got to have. So he has to cut Sydney, says, I can't give you the rose, walks around, gives the rose to Maria. And then the Ave Maria was like my favorite moment. Was it going to be Ave Sydney? I don't think so. Beautiful, that woman's voice, and so that was like a good producer touch there. Okay, unless they had a different Sydney song in the back end, I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was great. Okay, let's get to it because I want to land this plane. We're getting to the rose ceremony, and now what the heck is going on with Leah? So we think, whew, we're done with the drama. And now all of a sudden, Leah is like, it's okay to say, hey, my girl Sydney is gone and I'm bummed. We were good friends. But now to like be dissing Maria for the curling iron, get your own. What? Okay, and then Medina, who, by the way, the whole time I said is like uncomfortable with all of this. Again, she caught herself, oh crap, I'm sorry I said that. I don't want to be the middle of this controversy. But Medina and Maria had been trying to solve this. We saw the little interaction last week and the week before too. Hey, are we okay? Yeah, we're fine. And so she wants to be done with this. And now Leah is going to say, we got to talk. I'm going to confront you and tell you I'm confused by you. I thought Medina handled herself beautifully, as best you can expect, right? Like, don't tell me who I can or cannot, or that you want me to be mean to Maria. Okay. Um, I don't think she was being fake. I think she truly was trying to echo what Maria was saying is let's just move forward. Let's just be positive. So you tell me what you think about all of this because I'm like, is it too late? Am I too old? Have I missed something? My only explanation that works is she's a plant. And again, protect your mental health. I don't want any negativity coming from my videos towards Sydney because nobody should be putting up with that. She posted a video that she was getting death threats. No one deserves that. Um, but I think we'll see what happens on the Women Tell All. I think some humility, I think some recognition of what was done or what was said would be a good thing, to be honest with you, kind of healing the ick. Okay, so I'm going to land it there. The lesson is like, don't give somebody the ick. And if you get the ick, try to heal the ick because it doesn't have to be permanent. Okay, I'll have more to say after tomorrow's episode, but I will land it there. Thank you for your time.